We've gathered a group of industry leaders from the design and technology community at Planet Innovation in Melbourne to judge some of the best innovations for the year in Australia and New Zealand. The judges represent a very diverse group of expertise, and they all come together to judge the best innovations for the year.
In this episode, we're looking for the best innovations to go through to our top 10 later on in the series.
Peter Friedman of Rode Microphones admired the meeting of function and form with this first innovation, solving two problems when you're out on the water.
This is what this device does. You put it all in there, it's warm, safe, dry, no dramas, and you can listen to music and you can take a call. That's really, really clever.
So Chris, you've asked me to meet you on the beach in a wetsuit. Here I am.
Well, let's get out in the water and have an adventure.
What about my stuff?
Don't worry about your stuff. Got it all sorted.
Come up with this thing?
Well, it's actually about 7 years ago in the North Island, New Zealand, at a place called the Wairarapa. I was out in the water paddling for quite a few hours, and I was on my way back to the beach. And all I wanted to do was stay in the water for a couple more hours, but I was thirsty, I was hungry, and I was sunburned. I thought, how good would it be to be able to have some accessories out in the water with me that I could stay out there for a little longer. Not only is it keeping everything dry, it's also a waterproof speaker. You can be paddling on your board, listening to your music, take a phone call, listen to a yoga class.
So what is this music?
It's a local Perth band called Gren and Dolly.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, a bit funky, huh? You're going to control everything through this accessory, the Stoke Stash smartwatch.
And if I have my own waterproof smartwatch, can I use it?
Yeah, that's all good. You can use your own one. Essentially, how you control it is through the three-way Bluetooth device, waterproof speaker, waterproof smartwatch, and your phone inside a waterproof casing.
Okay, but we have a slight problem then, because that means you've got to be very experienced, because otherwise you're going to get the electronics wet.
No, don't worry. It's completely waterproof. Watch, Terry, look.
So my phone's in there.
All good. You can trust me. I'm Irish. It's completely waterproof. IP68. It can go a metre deep underwater.
Okay. Dry bags are not a new idea, and nor are waterproof Bluetooth speakers, but Stoke Stash has combined the two to create something completely new.
This creative application of a rapidly advancing technology impressed Sam Lanyon of Planet Innovation.
We've all heard about 3D printing, but wow, today is the first time I've ever seen a printer printing a 3D biological structure. We're at the start of a very, very exciting journey with this technology.
What happens when a scientist working with human cells meets a printer? You get 3D cell printing, of course.
This is the way we grow our cancer cells. You can see we grow them on 2 dimensions on plastic. So the cells are actually growing on the plastic as flat cells. This is not how tumour cells grow in the body, where they grow in contact with each other in 3 dimensions. When we look at the 2-dimensional cells, how they respond to therapy, how they respond to different types of signals, how they grow is completely different.
So we're looking here at a 3-dimensional structure, which is the cell you've printed.
Yes, exactly. So this is what we call a 3D spheroids, and this is actually how our tumours grow in our body. Come and see the printer we've been talking about.
Oh my goodness, I think I've just seen it.
This is the rastrum printer. The innovation in this product is the ability to be able to print cells in 96 well plates in a very rapid format, and we can actually print them in 3 dimensions, which is something we could never do before.
So how many print heads are there?
10 different print heads.
10?
That can actually print different combinations of cells and different combinations of bioinks. And we can do that and do it in a highly reproducible manner, and we can screen hundreds of samples at once. It would take one person hours and hours and hours to set up one plate, for example, and as good as they are technically, the reproducibility would not be the same.
You know, the rastrum 3D bioprinter is accelerating profoundly the way researchers and scientists conduct their research. This is going to speed up the way and speed up the ability for us to solve these huge problems in the medical space. That's got to be good for everybody.
Form Design's Edward Curry loved this ingenious update to a necessity in every home.
Now, who would have thought that such a simple change to an existing product would make such a profound difference to the performance? This is an amazing product.
There's a hidden problem in homes all over Australia, and it's this: your typical rainhead. It really only has one job, and it can't even seem to get that right. Russ, I feel like we've come into a hobbit house.
It certainly feels that way, but what you'll see as we move outside is that what we've created here is a rig to show people how heavy rainfall affects modern constructed houses.
So we have mounted here our typical rainhead.
Yes, so the plumbers buy these either off the shelf or custom made. They hack the back out of them to suit the box cutter, and we're going to run a flow rate of water down here of approximately 5 litres a second to simulate a heavy storm event. What we're going to do though is we're going to put in a blockage similar to leaves or a bird's nest. We do have an overflow, but it's going to be overwhelmed quite quickly by the amount of water, so we better stand back and see what happens.
So all's looking pretty good in our little hobbit house at the moment.
It is at the moment, but unbeknownst to the people who own this place, it's blocked up in the faulty rainhead, it's in the roof, and by the time it starts, it's too late.
So this could seriously happen.
Yep, just a simple matter of a bird's nest or some sort of blockage in your rainhead and disaster for your new home. So what we've got here is a typical installation of a dam buster onto a box gutter. And what we'll do is we'll create a flow rate of 5 litres a second, just like we had last time. I'm going to simulate a blockage that's washed in from the roof. What happens is the water goes up and over the front and outside the house.
And it looks like a water feature.
Oh, absolutely. But in this instance, the water feature is acting like an indicator to tell you there's a problem inside here. And you can either get up there or get someone in to clean it out for you.
Because something's been done that way before doesn't make it right. Dam Buster takes the flood outside the house, not inside.
We've gathered a group of industry leaders to judge some of the best design innovations for the year. Next, a design that supports recent trends in workplace design.
With the ubiquitous nature of open plan office, we've also had a problem with how people move their gear around. Cardboard boxes, satchels, backpacks, the whole lot. Huge problem. These guys have nailed the problem.
The way we're working is completely changing. Open plan offices, hot desking, all these things are really cool. But the one big challenge is, what do you do with all your stuff?
Gustav is your office in a box, a place for all your essential tools you have in a workplace where you don't have a fixed desk.
We realized that it can be quite an emotional journey for people to go onto that transition, and we said we don't want to create a product, we want to create your friend in the office, and therefore it needs to have
A personality.
A personality.
What looks that simple now is actually incredibly hard to build. We did not compromise on the aesthetics while at the same time really trying to get the weight down. We brought it from 2 kgs almost down to 1.3 kgs without compromising on the design aesthetics. And also the fine details like the hinges are custom made. It has this really kind of nice openness towards you, and the felt handle protects as well the laptop as well. It allows you to easily carry it. But then, because we have the friction hinge, this really allows actually to change the angle of the laptop.
One company that has taken up Gustav in a really big way is Kiwi Property.
The Gustavs have worked really well in our office. We've given one to all 100 of our employees and everyone loves them.
We find them really super stylish and contemporary. They make things really super easy and tidy in our lockers, and you can personalise them, which is even better.
We've seen photographs, paintings, a variety of pot plants actually. It really opened my mind. It actually caters to a lot of different needs and really to the entire way we look at working.
Good design is often as little design as possible, and that's exactly what I love about the Gustav. It's just so simple and it works. And you know what the best thing is? You get to put it in here at the end of the day and go home. Hearing loss affects 4 out of 5 Australians. It's a really big problem. Hearing aid design hasn't really changed that much since the 1950s. That is, until now.
Hearing loss impacts nearly 4 million Australians. Yet due to the stigma around hearing aids, most people don't even seek help. Most people don't even know they have a problem, so they struggle unnecessarily in day-to-day environments. So Peter, what are the telltale signs of hearing loss?
Oh, there are quite a few. So you might notice when you're watching the TV, that your spouse is telling you you've got the volume too loud, or when you're on the phone. But actually the best example is a cafe like this, where there's lots of background noise and you're struggling to hear what the other person's saying.
So what is it that you've created that's solving this problem for people? I'm curious.
Well, this is it. This is the Facet. This is a hearing aid that has lots of fantastic new features. You put it together, put it behind your ear, and it solves a lot of those problems that we've just been talking about. What I'd like to do now, Terry, is show you how you can do something about your hearing loss.
So we'll need a soundproof booth?
No. In fact, it's much better if we don't use a soundproof booth. It's important that we do this in a normal environment.
So I could be in my own office or at home?
Absolutely. That would be perfect, whatever suits you. I'd like you to click on the button that says Play Word.
Moth. And then I'm typing the result that I hear.
That's right. Perfect.
Okay, done.
So the computer is recording your responses and comparing them with the actual word, and the errors that you make tell us about your hearing.
Forge. Sharp. Done.
And we are.
Terrific. This shows that you have good hearing.
So let's say my test wasn't so good.
We can use the result of that test to program up some hearing aids for you.
It's a great range of colours.
These were designed by a medical device jewellery designer, Leah Heiss. The goal was to make them desirable to wear rather than making you feel like you have a disability. Okay, so attached to the battery is a magnetic battery. It just clicks on, and just put that behind your right ear.
Okay, it just pops on.
That's right, and the little red bit goes into the ear canal.
I can't even feel it there.
Fantastic.
In the same way that glasses are now a fashion accessory, Facet is changing the way we look at hearing loss. Packed with technology and background support, it is a life-changing accessory you want to wear.
Our team of industry leaders are judging some of the best design innovations for the year in Australia and New Zealand.
Golf is one of the world's favourite pastimes. It's a massive market and these guys are targeting it very well. They're bringing old and new buggies into the 21st century.
We're often told that there's no point reinventing the wheel, but maybe there are times when that is exactly what you need to do. This makes a nice change to be outdoors instead of in a lab or an office somewhere, but I can't help feel like I'm holding you up, Flo.
You look like you're struggling a bit with that buggy. I think you need a bit of help.
It's actually way more walking than I expected.
Yeah, you cover around about 10 kilometres and the bag weighs about 15 kilos, so it's a bit of a hike, especially on this course. It's quite hilly.
Oh, so what's this then?
These are the Concours Smart Wheels.
What you have on your car?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to know more about this. Ooh. So, David, I've seen quite a lot of electric buggies around the golf course today. What's different here?
They are very large. They've got wires, batteries, motors. But what we've done, we've got all of the mechanics inside this wheel. So what it makes is be able to convert your existing buggy into a remote control electric powered buggy. So what's inside each wheel is a lithium battery, brushless motor, and a drivetrain that enables it to be completely self-driven. There's full computing power in here that enables two wheels to talk to each other, to actuate turning and also moving up and down hills. We've designed this to be able to apply to many other applications as well, for wheelchairs, potentially prams, anything that has wheels, we can deliver self-driven power to.
As much as I can see the obvious advantages of Concours Smart Wheels on the golf course, what I'm really excited about here is the future potential of the underlying technology. Just imagine the possibilities.
This next innovation, inspired by nature, is called Batwing, and you'll see why. Rhinorack have investigated the market and have nailed it.
I've been roped into an outback trip with some girlfriends. I'm super excited about it, but I'm nervous too because, if I'm honest, my RAV4 really just drives around the city. But I've been told about the innovative new design of the Batwing Awning. I'm going to go and check it out, and I'm hoping they can fit it to my very standard city roof racks. So Matt, this is it. It's pretty small. I mean, awnings are awnings, so what sets it apart?
So we found a need in the market to deploy these things really quick. It's all about portable shade. It's about being covered out there in the elements.
Oh, it's a lot lighter than I expected.
It's only about 20 kilos. Okay, the brackets are in place. Let's just ease it in.
All right.
So we start down here. So we just pull it out like this and it fully deploys.
Shall I grab the poles? Are they in the boot?
No, they're right here, all incorporated.
My girlfriends are going to be so envious. Sunset drinks with Batgirl.
You're a natural, look at that.
I am so impressed. I'm super excited to get going now. Kale, as one of the leading designers on this project, which part are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of the fact that we were able to create an awning that can be deployed with one person and it comes together really fast and easily.
So here we are in the great outdoors. This is where design meets reality. It's a little bit windy today, so I'm looking forward to seeing how the Batwing stands up to the test in its natural habitat. So are we ready to go?
Let's do it. So now the final anchor point cures it nice and tight.
Beautiful, and even in these windy conditions, it looks really secure.
One thing we're really, really proud of is that because this offers protection from the elements, from a bit of rain, but most importantly the sun, it's been endorsed by Cancer Council.
Now I want to enjoy the great outdoors. Where are those camp chairs? The Batwing is so easy to use. I can see why it's capturing the hearts of outdoor enthusiasts around Australia and now around the globe.
We're down to the final 2 projects for this episode of Australia by Design Innovations.
Forward-thinking businesses these days have a two-way collaborative relationship with their clients, and the traditional boardroom and waiting room system just no longer cuts it to foster that relationship. PwC and FutureSpace gives us a little peek into what we could do to change that relationship.
I'm here to meet the designer of an innovative workplace, and I'm told it's a glimpse into the boardroom of the future. Hi Angela,
Hi,
really nice to see
Brandon.
you. This looks absolutely incredible. It does not feel like I walked into an accounting firm.
Well, that's because you haven't. PwC is so much more than an accounting firm. They wanted to completely rethink the way that they engage with their clients. It's about being welcomed, it's about being greeted to make you feel like you've stepped into one of the most beautiful hotels in the world. We've considered sound, we've considered scent. There's actually a custom scent that was designed so that you have that recognition of the brand and where you are. The brief for this space was to create almost like a gallery space where we could put different displays, different exhibitions, if you like, of some of these emerging technologies that the organisations PwC partners with are developing. So this is what we call the digital waterfall. 4 floors of continuous information of all of PwC's insights gathered from around the world, from 157 countries. It's a collection of white papers and videos of partners coming together in the one spot for anyone visiting here. And if you haven't got time to stop here and read it right now, you can send this article to your phone and then read it later on the train.
It's a waterfall of knowledge.
That's right.
So this is really about design, changing the mindset of an organisation.
It's not just about great space, great physical environment, it's also about great technology and how that supports people working in new ways.
What a great example of design having a profound impact on the way a global organisation works. What Angela and her design team at FutureSpace have done is to totally disrupt the idea of a boardroom. And I finally get it. PwC is so much more than an accounting firm.
Threadharbour sell beautiful fashion and accessories online, but they also help solve some big problems.
I have to confess, I fought hard to get onto this story. It combines 2 things I'm very passionate about, fashion and retail. But this innovation takes things one step further with a concept around ethical badges.
Thread Harvest is an online ethical fashion marketplace. We thought we were going to make the biggest impact through, how we use the profits. What we realized the biggest impact we were going to make was actually through how we manufacture the product. So this is one of my personal favorite brands, Conscious Step. Every time you purchase a pair of these socks, it provides one person with 18 months clean drinking water. This is another particular favourite brand of mine, Proof. So every time you buy a pair of these Sunnies, they actually fund eye surgery.
Come on, pop them on.
And they look pretty good as well, I think. I think they look pretty good.
I also see jewellery here too.
Absolutely, so a big jewellery range. This was actually manufactured using bomb fragments that didn't go off in Laos in the Second World War.
So Thread Harvest is more than product, this is a movement.
Absolutely. It's how can we use fashion as a means for a social good to create a better tomorrow.
Nerida, I'm hearing all about impact badges. You've just won an award for the concept.
Basically, they are our standards for our brands and they also act as education for our customers.
So how do I shop what matters to me?
Well, it's really simple, Terry. You come to the website, you simply have to click on the badge that you want to know more about. As you can see here, we've got living wage, and it pulls through all of the products that meet that standard. Each of our brands need to meet at least 2. This one actually meets 3. It's living wage, eco-friendly, and fair trade.
So your little black dress on a Saturday night's actually supporting a cause?
That's right, you can look good and feel good all at the same time.
I actually spotted some pieces I quite like over here. Historically, commercial viability has sometimes been seen as the polar opposite to social good. The real innovation I see here is the combination of commercial viability and social good.
And now to see which projects will make it through to the best of the best final later in the series. From this episode, the judges have chosen Facet. For more information on any of today's innovations, visit australiabydesign.com.au.